Hello live wires, Heather Boyd Wire here, and today it's Tip Tuesday. Today I'm going to show you how to make 5 different kinds of rings with memory wire. What you're going to need for this project is your ring size memory wire. I have a variety of beads between 4, 6, and 8 millimeters. I have miracle beads and hematite beads and metal spacer beads. I'll also use some 20 gauge wire. I'm using tiny little seed beads. These ones are pre-strung. I have my round pliers, flat pliers. Don't use your best cutters for this project. I have memory wire cutters, or you can use some heavy-duty cutters you have on hand. For the first ring, we are just going to take the memory wire. We have about 3 loops of it, and then we're just going to leave a good amount to go around the back of the finger. Take the wire with the round pliers and just bend this out. So I'll try to show you from on top. We're just kind of bending it out away from the ring. So hold it and rotate it around to form a loop. Doesn't really matter how big the loop is. Just want to make a complete loop to the outside. So now we're going to open it up and put beads on the longer side. I'll take a 4 millimeter miracle bead first, and then put a metal spacer bead, put my 8 millimeter miracle bead, put another spacer bead, and then another 4 millimeter miracle bead. So we're just going to push these all the way around until they end up being like just pushing against that loop. If you find this too wide, just use less beads or use smaller beads. So now we want to put a loop to the other side to hold the beads in place. So we're going to get our round pliers again. Hold this and just hold it right against, so these are snug. And then bend this out. So we have to see what's starting to look like that. And put the pliers back in there. And just complete your loop. So just bring this one around and around. Make sure it's going to hold in place. Just bring it down and then push that one out. Put your finger in between if you need to hold these apart, and you're going to do just a little wiggling to get it right in there. Just hold it firmly and push it in. So now you have these beads that are held in place, and we want these to overlap a little bit. You could continue the wire so it goes around the finger a few times, but if you want just the beads, just go ahead and decide sort of the center back. You want to have a little bit of leeway, so just over to the side, take the wire again and just bend a little loop. Get your cutters and give it a clip, and then just push it in a bit so that's flush. Check the end of the loop will be in the same position on that side. Take your pliers and just wind it around on the other side. See if they're about in the same position. Should be good. If you have any extra, clip it and then just pinch that in place. Adjust it a bit if you need to. You can just wiggle it back and forth. You don't want these overlapping, so just kind of bend them out a little bit until it's in a good position. There you have your ring, and it'll have a little bit of flexibility at the back as well. For the next one, we'll just cut about 4 rings. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're in doubt, you can always pull an extra one so you have more leeway. And then we're just going to clip it off the roll. Now I want to do a little loop in the middle to put a charm in the middle, so we're just going to split it. At the center point, we'll hold it with the round pliers, bend it out as we did the first one. So this is how it looks so far. And then we're just going to take this and just complete that circle. So we're just going to go like that, hold it snugly, and bring it out like that. So it looks like this with the little loop in the middle. If you need your flat pliers, go ahead and adjust it how you need. And then what we'll do is just open it up, and we're going to put beads on there. So the small size is good for the rings, so it's not too bulky. And why I like to buy the strung beads is I just pull off about 5 of them, so I can just take them in one fell swoop, and then you just slide them on to the wire. 4 might be easier than 5, so we're just going to go through and take our beads and keep stringing them on the wire. Once you've strung enough beads on there, you're just going to take your round pliers, take the end, and just wind it around. Hold it in place. Get your cutters, clip it. Careful the end might fly. And then you're just going to take this end and push it in place so the beads don't slide. So there we have one side, and then we're going to do the other side. Once you've done all the beading, you're just going to have the beaded ring with a little loop in the middle, and you can add a little charm, or you can get a head pin, put a bead on there, and just trim it to 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Get your round pliers, form a little loop, and then you can just hook that into the loop in the middle. Take your flat pliers, close it up, and there you have your memory wire ring with the dangling charm or bead. So for this one we have about 3 rings here, and we're just going to split it open, and a little over to one side we're just going to take the wire and then bend it down and around, and we're going to form a kind of a 8. So we've got it around one way, and then we're going to hold it the other way and bend it around this way. So we just have it in the figure 8, and now we're going to put the bead on there. And we'll do another figure 8. Just bring it around this way. Try to make them more or less the same size. It is very stiff wire. And bring it underneath. So we're just going to bring that one underneath to finish the figure 8. So it looks something like that. You can go ahead and get your flat pliers and give it a little bit of a pinch in there. From there you can bead these if you want or not. You just want to pull it in so it's the shape and the size that you want. Use the pliers if you have to. Just line these up and clip them the same on both sides. Clip it to about there. Line these up again. Hold it in the center back. Clip it on the same place on the other side. And then we're just going to make little loops on the end so it won't be sharp. So just bring that one around. And this one. Bring them in a little more with the flat pliers so they're flush and not scratchy. And from here it's still loose, so what you want to do is hold these and just bend them in. Same on this side, just hold these and bend them in. You can take the ends and tug them a little bit if you need. Bend them the opposite ways to line them up a bit. And like I said, you can bead those if you like. And there you have a very simple memory wire ring with the loops. I'm actually going to use my finer round nose pliers. You can just pull this one around. If you need a smaller loop, just tug it a little bit because you really don't want that loop to be very big. Then we're going to put the 6mm bead on there. Take this one and then just bend it sort of to the other side there. And we want to just give it a little bit of a tug. Pinch it in with your tweezer nose pliers. We'll take the ring. So we'll just stick this in the bottom loop. Hold the end so it doesn't get tangled up. Bring it all the way around. And then we're going to put it through the top loop. So it's through these two loops. And then we're just going to keep winding it around. It's almost like a split ring or something. Bring it around and around. And then don't go through the loop again. That's going to go behind. And we'll just keep bringing it around until it's centered. So when it's about in the center, then we can get our 4mm bead, stick it on there. You can always trim the 20 gauge wire a little bit, and then just kind of stick it underneath here. So we have it in here, and then we're going to twist it around. So hold this in place and just bend this around. So bring it right through. One side, and then we're going to flip it. We'll do the same here. We'll pop it under there, stick the bead on there, and then this wire's a little bit long, so just trim that one a little bit. Careful it doesn't fly. And then we're going to take this one and bend it around that side. So just take that, push it through. Take the end with the pliers if it's easier, and give it a good little tug there. And this one too, give it a good little tug and pinch it in. So this is what you have so far. We want to round off these ends. They're just going to be at the back, but you don't want them to be sharp. Just trim it about 3/8 to 1/4 inch. Take your round pliers and bring it around. Same on this side. Take the end, trim it to 3/8 to 1/2 inch from where you want the loop to be. Wind it around and squeeze it in. This one too. Just get your flat pliers, squeeze it in. So these will be at the back. So this is what we have so far. You can just leave it like that if you want, but if you want to make it more fancy, we can do like a little spiral. So just take the end, bring it in, and start forming a little spiral. I usually do my spirals on a cone, but my ends aren't super long. Bring it right in. If the ends were longer, you can make a bigger spiral, but this is okay like this. So you could do one to one side and one to the other. For the spiral, you want to cut it flush. Bring it in here. And just keep bringing it in to make your spiral. So you can leave it above there if you like, or if you want it tucked in between, you can just bring it down. And this one too, the wire wasn't like super long for this, but we could bring it just in that way and just play around with it as you want. You could have added more. You could add more wire in if you want. Almost looks like a musical staff. And there you have your memory wire ring with the added beads. So another super easy charm ring with the memory wire is just to make the loop on one end. So just split it here, get your round pliers, hold the end, and do your loop going out, sort of perpendicular to the ring. So we do that, close it up with the flat pliers so it's closed and not sharp, and then just fill it up with beads. So once we're at the end, we're just going to turn the end. So we'll just turn it right around to close it up. Pinch it so it's closed. So you see I've used bigger beads with this one, so it's a little more chunky. That's the part sticking out for the charm. So we could just quickly make a charm out of 20 gauge wire. If you want to make a little musical note, you can just like turn this around. So we're just going to slide it on here. So that'll dangle down like that. I'm just going to give it a little pinch. I'll link up some tutorials where I show you how to make different charms. So we're just going to bend this one down and this one down. And then from here, we're just going to turn this one around. Use your regular cutters to trim it. And then turn this one around here. Give it a little clip. And then you're just going to pinch these in with the flat pliers. And this one too, the flat pliers. And then if you have to adjust a little bit, just hold the end and push these together. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.